Hello, folks, and welcome to our channel. So, what did I read during June? I read four proper books and one Kindle book. I've read more than I normally do because I went away. I've had actually quite a good reading month in June. I think from what I know of this year and what I remember from previous wrap-ups that I've done this year, I think looking at the pile in front of me, I've got to say every book I've read has been a good one, and I felt my reading has been beneficial to me. Um, so let's get to it. The first book I read is called The Story Collector by Evie Woods. Now, if you follow me on my other channels, you will possibly like this book. If you like Irish folklore, you will like this book. You'll love it. It's about a young woman who I think she's in her 30s. She lives in America, um, but life is not going well for her. She's in an unhappy relationship. She's hitting rock bottom, and she accidentally ends up in Ireland and in this obscure village in Ireland with all of this folklore and strangeness going on. And that's the story of the past and the present and how they're interwoven. It's got fairies in it, it's got witches in it, it's got folklore in it, it's got Irish history in it, it's got romance in it, it's got books in it, it's got writing in it, it's got the feel good factor. It also covers the complexities of the human, um, and the sadness of so many of our stories being lost, and how there are really fairies round every corner. Really, really enjoyed this. I think this book could be one of the best I've read this month. Um, yeah, The Story Collector by Evie Woods, and she's got some more books out, I think. I've got another one on the bookshelf there. The next book I read was the fifth book in the Alison Weir box set on the six Tudor Queens. So this one was all about Katherine Howard. You know, I struggled with this. Any readers looking at books written around 2020 to 2021, are you seeing a pattern of the books not being as good as their previous books? And I'm wondering if this is down to the pandemic. I started reading this and I've left my door open. It's going to be banging all the way through this. Please don't bang door. In fact, just a minute. No, I can't do that. I was going to try and push it. Don't keep banging. Anyone realizing that books written between 2020 and 2021 are missing something? Anyway, I've enjoyed this service, this series, and I enjoyed this, but it just, I don't know. I struggled with it when I first started reading this. There's a lot of characters, and it felt like even more characters than the previous ones, um, which can be a hard feat because there's a lot of characters in Tudor historical fiction. Obviously, it's telling the story of Catherine Howard, but it's hard because she was the youngest wife. She was possibly the most vulnerable wife because she was practically a child. Even though there's this obscure thing about her age, was she 16? Was she 17? Was she 18? Was she 19? Um, will we ever know? Because I think somebody said on one of my channels ages ago that women's dates of birth weren't really recorded because they weren't deemed important enough to have official records. But we know that this was a young girl marrying a man that was in his 50s, marrying a man that was a tyrant, that was losing his mind, his sensibilities, all of it. There was a naivety and a vulnerability about Catherine, but also as well a frustration at the people around her that knew, especially because this was the family of Anne Boleyn. And look what happened to Anne Boleyn. But they knew that Catherine Howard was, she was free with her favours. for the time of Tudor. If she was alive now, it'd just be normal. She'd be a normal young girl living her life. Um, they knew that she was having sex with people, that she was intimate with people, but still they pushed her into the arms of Henry VIII, who they knew for a fact beheaded their family member. And that was just so sick, wasn't it? When you think of how vulnerable she was, because I'm sure by the time she marries Henry VIII in this book, both parents have died. Well, yeah, they have. Both parents have died. So she is at the mercy of her uncle. And her uncle hasn't got a good track record, has he now? And this strange aunt that she's gone to live with. And they just prostitute her. That's as simple as it. She was prostituted. Yeah, really sad. I did enjoy it, but I didn't enjoy it as much. And I think that's possibly because it was written around the pandemic. And I think possibly all authors were affected in one way, shape, or form. But yeah, have you noticed that 2021 and even into 2022? Then the next book that I read was this one, and it was a gift from one of my clients and watchers. I loved this. It's been on my shelf a while because it's a type of book that I felt needed the right time for me to read it. I don't know why. It just needed something a little bit extra. I don't know. That's just what I felt. Um, Aora Flowers, The Many Deaths of Aora, The Many Deaths of Aora. I always say that word wrong. Flowers by Samantha Booth. Booth is my maiden name. And honest to God, if you love me, if you love my channels, our channels as well, if you love tarot, if you love past lives, reincarnation, Glastonbury, mysticism, spirituality, New Age, you will love this book. If you love history, you will love this book. It is about Aora Flowers and her many past lives that she can remember. She remembers them vividly, like we remember having a cup of tea 5 minutes ago. She's got deep memory of her past lives. But the current life that she's in, shit's getting real. Someone from her past is coming back, and she needs to piece together just why this is happening. So she starts to work through these past lives with the help of a partner, with the help of a group of witches in Glastonbury to make sense of, heal, release, and go forward from this torment and this person for all healing to happen. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Um, Again, possibly one of the best books I have read this month. Um, I think you can get this off Amazon. In fact, let me check for you now. I'm sure you can, but just let me check because it was gifted to me, so I want to make sure that people can get it. Um, where is when you want to search, they start advertising on Amazon. So Samantha Booth. Yes, you can. So you can get it off Amazon. So I really would. Like I said, if you love me, you love the work I do, you love my channels, our channels, etc., all of that kind of stuff, you will love that book. The next book I read in June was called Sugar Baby by Celine St. Clair. Another book I enjoyed. Very different to things I've read before. Basically, it's about a young woman who lives at home with her mom, domineering mother, who works as part of her cleaning business, her mother's cleaning business. I've got allergies, by the way, so I'm a bit sniffly. And she goes into this house and she meets another young woman whose life looks perfect, who has lots of money, lots of, things happening, etc. But she's what's called a sugar baby. Well, it's hard to explain it really. They're not a prostitute, but they kind of are. They go on dates for money. And she sells it to the main protagonist in this book. And the main protagonist goes, yeah, there's a whole group of them, flat of women living together. And on the surface, life looks good. So she joins in with them. She starts being a sugar baby. And eventually it rumbles into her home. Her mother is highly religious. and won't take the fact that she's changing so much. So she gets kicked out, etc. And she lives with these women. But life spirals. And it's the story of, when we think something is too good to be true or all that glitters, and when we look at other people's lives and think their life looks great, is it? And the story of that and the story of how we can cheapen ourselves and rejection and love and lust and intimacy and the wounding of the feminine. I really enjoyed it. It's also about societal norms. Um, it's about the modern woman on the paths of many modern women out there that are trying to navigate the dating scene. Because for although they're sugar babies, there is a lot here, a lot of truth about the modern day dating scene and all that comes with that. And the waiting for text messages, the waiting for second dates, the gaslighting, the being dumped via text, all of that, and the effect that it can have on the woman and consequently how that can help make us spiral. The last book I read this month, you will see a picture, I think, here. It was on Kindle and it was The Curfew by T.M. Logan. Now, I like T.M. Logan's work and I really enjoyed this, but it seemed a bit glitchy in bits. And I think this is his first book. I've read one of his more previous books. I read a couple of his books. I'm not sure. Anyway, basically, he wakes up one morning. Him and his family wake up one morning. The dad, the protagonist of the story, and his son's bed. No, his son. No, it's not. He goes into his son's room, and it looks like his son's asleep in it. He goes downstairs. He gets a call from his brother that his son hasn't come home. So they go off looking for him. And as this story spirals about the two lads, the group of friends, the missing teenagers, because there's missing teenagers, what's happened, why. Um, it also focuses on the town, the village of people, the town of people. Excuse me, that this school that they're all going to. It's a bit like it reminded me of adolescence. See another problem I've got because we've been on a cruise. Our throats have been affected by the air conditioning for 2 weeks, so I do apologise. Um, it reminded me a bit of adolescence with Stephen Graham in. It had that. I mean, even though that was written before, it had that ring to it. I enjoyed it. In parts, it just felt a bit. He was trying to miss bits to get to certain bits, and it felt a bit clunky. So if you read this, and this is for you the first one you've ever read of his, bear with the author because I think he's got better work as he's got better. There were some parts of it that just seemed a bit rushed and a bit like, when did that spring up or whatever. But it's a good book. It's a good story. It makes you think about modern day world, modern day parenting, modern day teenagers. There's, who done it energy in it. There's a bit of police procedural in it. There's suspense in it. There's family dynamics in it. Um, Neurodivergencies in it. There's a lot in it, and it's a really good book. And that's not all I've read, but that's what I've read in June. And I think it's my happiest reading month of 2025. So, have you read any of these? What did you think? Are you going to read any of them? What did you read in June? Let me know. List them if you want. List your books. Chat amongst yourselves in the comments. If you've enjoyed this video, there is a playlist on here called Reading Wrap Up or BookTube, where I put all the bookish content into now. So yeah, please do like, comment, share, and subscribe. What emoji shall we have? We'll have a pile of books. Let's not think too far out of the box. Give me a pile of books. So if you want to comment but not sure what to put, leave me a book or a pile of books. And yeah, please also, if there's any book you're going to invest in, let it be this one because it's good. It's good. It's really good. And I think more writers like this need us to get behind them, where it's just a good old-fashioned story, like they were years ago before everything went crazy. I think books can be strange at the minute in various different ways. I know with AI coming into the mix now, when you're going to be able to tell when you're reading a book that's not come from the heart and the soul. but that book has come from the heart and the soul. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Love to all.